With the permission of the President, I would like to begin with this workshop. A very good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of Marathwada Legal and General Education Societies, Manikchand Pahade Law College, in collaboration with Maharashtra National Law University, Aurangabad, I extend a warm welcome to our esteemed chief guest, Ms. Sakshi Gupta ma'am, respected Principal Sir Dr. C.M. Rao sir, respected Vice Principal Mr. Sri Kishan More sir, IQAC Coordinator Dr. Aparna Kotapalle ma'am, Placement Cell Coordinator Dr. Anju Singh ma'am, and all other faculty members and my dear friends. I request Mr. Siva Kumar sir, who is the coordinator of this workshop, to introduce all of us about today's workshop. Over to you, sir.
Very good morning, one and all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Respected Principal Sir, Registrar Sir, MNLUA, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and dear students. It is my pleasure to extend a warm welcome to all of you towards this special event. Today, we are gathered here for an enlightening and enriching experience as we embark on an online workshop on drafting of Curriculum Vitae, organized by the Manikchand Pahade Law College in collaboration with the Maharashtra National Law University, Aurangabad. This workshop is an important part of Placement Cell's ongoing efforts to provide valuable learning opportunities that go beyond traditional classroom education. Crafting an effective CV is a vital skill that every student must master to successfully navigate this professional world. A well-drafted CV is often the first impression a potential employer has of you, and we all know how powerful first impressions can be. To guide us through this session, we have with us a highly esteemed resource person, Ms. Sakshi Gupta, who is the Assistant Professor and Chairperson of the Placement and Training Cell at Maharashtra National Law University, Aurangabad. She brings with her a wealth of knowledge and experience, and we are indeed privileged to have her with us today. Before we like to begin, I would like to thank the coordinators of the event, Dr. Anju Singh, Dr. Aparna Kotapalle ma'am, for their tireless efforts in making this workshop possible. I would also like to extend my gratitude to our principal, sir, and all the members of the organizing committee for their support and guidance. Without further ado, let's commence with the event. Now I request Ms. Siddhi to formally introduce our resource person.
Thank you so much, sir. Today, we are honored to have with us our respected resource person, Ms. Sakshi Gupta ma'am, who is currently working as Assistant Professor of Law and Chairperson of Placement and Training Cell at Maharashtra National Law University, Aurangabad. Ma'am has done their graduation from Indraprastha University and Masters in Corporate Law from NLU Jodhpur, standing amongst top 3 students of the university in both UG and PG. While pursuing for masters, she has cleared UGC JRF NET examination also. She is currently empaneled with Competition Commission of India, that is CCI, as a member of Network of Indian Competition Experts. In addition to that, she is the Central Director of Center for Competition Law, that is CCLP, and Center for Alternative Dispute Resolution, CADR. During her academic journey, she has done various internships from Tier 1 law firms like Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas, Cyril Amarchand, Khaitan and Company, and others. She has participated in various moot court competitions and was declared the winner and best advocate prize in Third Justice PB Sawant National Moot Court Competition, Pune. She has presented profound research papers in various national as well as international conferences and seminars and secured the honor of Best Paper Presenter also. Ma'am has been invited as guest speaker for various academic events and as a judge to many prestigious moot courts competitions also. Overall, she has made significant contribution in the field of law. We are eager to have exposure to their expertise and guidance in today's workshop. Now I request our distinguished resource person, Ms. Sakshi Gupta ma'am to enlighten all of us with their valuable insights in this workshop. Over to you, ma'am.
A very good morning to all. I hope I am audible. And
Yes, madam.
yeah, a very good morning to Principal Sir, MP Law College, and Mr. Siv Kumar, as well as the student coordinator for the event. I'm thankful for such a wonderful introduction. I'm very happy to be addressing you all on this very important skill of CV drafting. Being the placement head at MNLU Aurangabad, I firsthand know what recruiters actually look at, right? So, what basically your CV is the first step for you to be obtaining a internship or placement opportunity at any law firm or with any advocate, right? Because your CV would be the first step. If you clear that step, then is the remainder of process. You would go for interviews, you may sit for like shortlisting of screening process or GD, whatever is the shortlisting process and criteria for that respective firm. So CV is basically your USP. As I always say, it is your selling point, and that is how you need to sell yourself to a potential recruiter. You will have to highlight whatever are your achievements, your strengths, your talents that you can bring to that organization as well as the recruiter. Correct. So that is why the skill of CV drafting is very, very important. And I'm guessing that we have students from all the 5 batches. Are these only third, fourth, fifth years, or what year students am I addressing? Because if it's all 5 years, well and good, because your CV building starts from your day one of law school. Because it's not a one-day activity, it takes place all throughout these 5 years of law school where you will be building yourself as well as your CV. And your CV is ultimately the one tool that would help you market yourself to your potential recruiter, to your potential internship providers. Okay, so it's very important that you know how to draft a well-rounded and a very strong, robust CV that ensures that you get placed as well as get internship opportunities with good tier 1 firms, or if you're interested in litigation, with good chambers and senior advocates offices, right? So as before, as your coordinator has also advised, that CV is obviously the one that creates your first strong impression. So without wasting any time, let us learn how to draft a good CV, what should be the contents, and how you need to go about each of the headings that you put, that you insert in your CV. Now, always remember that whenever you're drafting your CV, it should not be too long. Your recruiter does not have all the time on the world that he's going to, or he or she is going to read through all those 6, 7 pages. You just need to keep it very concise. Ensure that your CV is not more than 2 pages. Okay, be very precise. Keep information which is relevant. I always tell my students that do not make one general CV and send to all places. Always customize your CV. So let's say one student has an interest in corporate law. So always ensure that when you're sending out your CV to a corporate firm or a company, your CV is fine-tuned, it is tailor-made and customized according to the requirements of that firm. It should not be a general CV. It should be reflecting your interest and talent in corporate law. For example, if you wish to work in a corporate internship, let's say if you want to work in the field of arbitration, then again you have to tailor make your CV according to the arbitration field. Your CV should reflect your achievements in the field of arbitration and not in any other field, not required, right? So always customize your CV. See what your recruiter wants, see what your potential internship provider is expecting. Accordingly you draft your CV, accordingly you tailor make your, customize your CV and then send it ahead. What students do, and what that is the biggest mistake that most students make, they make one normal, like common CV and send it everywhere. That is the wrong process. You see which field has the vacancy, which area of law are they looking at. If they're looking for corporate and you're sending a litigation CV, anyway it would get rejected, right? So always customize your CV, fine tune your CV according to the requirements of your recruiter. Everything has to go according to your expectations of your employer. Okay, so that is the first step that you always need to remember. Do not generalize, don't have a generic CV. Customize your CV according to the requirements of your potential employer. That is one. Then only have relevant information. Only your talent, strengths, and achievements should be reflected on your CV. Not more than 2 pages of CV. Have a very clear, no vagueness should be there on your CV. So let's say if you're not clear with your area of interest, you may say, ma'am, I'm in my first year or I'm in my second year, and I'm not clear as to what area of law I want to go into. Then you give all those areas which you are interested in. Let us say you have 3 areas. You are interested in cyber, you are interested in corporate, and you are interested in arbitration. So you give a mix of those 3, and maybe you can specify those 3 areas that at the last, that these are the areas of interest or areas of expertise that you possess as of now. So if you are not sure which area to go forward with, at least in first, second years, I also understand students want to explore as many fields as they can. However, for fourth and fifth year students, I always advise that please have an area. Show that you are an expert of that area and make your CV customized to that area only. Okay, do not try to show that you are master of all, because that is never possible. Okay, so always do that. Okay, so now without wasting any time, I'll quickly share the CV format that we are asking our students to follow. I hope this thing is visible. I'll just give it in full screen. Is my screen visible? Yeah. So if you look at the screen, you can see the CV formats that the CV format that we use at MNLU Aurangabad. And this is just a 2-page CV, if you can see. Not in, I mean, as I said, this does not have to be too long. So this is just 2-page CV, very, very precise, only highlighting what needs to be there. Okay. All right. Okay. So please, let's be all interactive. If you have doubts anywhere, you can always unmute and ask me. Okay. So let us start. As I said, this is your selling point. This is your marketing tool. So you need to ensure that in these 2 pages, you are selling yourself in the best way possible to your potential recruiter. Okay. So starting from the top, you have your name, you give your university name and logo. Why do we say that? Because when you put your university name and logo, that brings in more credibility and authenticity. Okay, so always give your name of the university, the logo, as well as in your email. Always give your official email ID, whatever your universities have provided. I'm sure you must be having a formal email ID. Always mention that. Why? Because that gives in more credibility. That brings in some amount of accountability also. That is why I'm saying email ID, use university's email ID, contact number, a functioning contact number in case they want to reach out to you, in case they want to communicate with you. So give a functional email ID and contact number. Nowadays, LinkedIn, if you see, I've also included one column for LinkedIn. Since LinkedIn has become a very powerful tool for networking, for getting jobs and employment, therefore, always have your LinkedIn profile ready and include your LinkedIn, whatever that hyperlink, you can insert it on your CV right here, where I'm linking this LinkedIn, right? So your LinkedIn, I'm assuming all of you have LinkedIn, right? I hope you all have created your LinkedIn profiles. It's your professional master tool for broadcasting yourself to your potential recruiters, to the people in the law field. So always have your LinkedIn profile also on your CVs. Okay. Now, coming on to the first and the foremost heading, which is education. Now, under this heading, under this topic, you will be mentioning about your academic and your achievements in the field of academics. So let us say that you are in whatever year. So you are, let us say you are writing, you are a 4th year student, BLLB honors course at, you are from MP Law College. So you can say at MP Law College, you can give your CGPA, you can give your percentage, whatever your university follows. So accordingly, since at NLU we are following CGPA, therefore we have given cumulative grade points here, right? So always, and one more thing that I want to make clear at this very point, please ensure that you are writing everything in a chronological manner. When I say chronological manner, it means from the recent to the oldest, okay? So your recent most is your current education, that is your law school, whichever year you are in. Then would go your 12th standard and your 10th grade. So let us say you did your 12th standard from CBSE, You mention that, you write your school or junior college name along with the percentage or CGPA, whatever has been followed in your case. Similarly, for 10th standard, you write your board. Let us say you are from central board, CBSE, or you are from ICSE or state board. You accordingly mention that, as well as your percentage and your school name again. Okay? So this is regarding your education. Also, one more thing that I wish to mention here, because I'm also looking after the internships and placements at my university. Most of the recruiters, trust me, most of the recruiters only recruit and provide internships to top 5 students of the batch, top 5 academic rank holders. So that is why it is very, very important that you maintain a good score throughout your 5 years. If you want to be placed with tier 1 firms like Shardul Amarchand, Cyril Amarchand, Khetan, and all these, these top grade firms, then you need to be an academic achiever. You will have to show that you are among the top 5 or top 10 of your batch. Okay. Also, you can mention these achievements in the column of education. Let us say after these 3 bullets, you can insert another bullet and you can say that I have been an academic achiever, or I am the top, like a gold medalist in my school or in college. You can also mention all those things. Similarly, let us say you wish to apply for corporate law. Okay? And now what you can also say, that I have been a subject topper of the subject of corporate law or company law. That would also count. Let us say you want to go in the field of cyber law. Then if you have scored the highest marks in cyber law, you can also say, I have been a subject topper of cyber law. Why is that important? Because that would show to your potential recruiter that you have the subject knowledge, you have the technical matter knowledge of that respective subject. Subject topper means you have the knowledge, you have the skills to understand and work on that subject, right? So it's very important that you also mention any proficiencies, any trophies or awards that you have received in your educational background. Let us say you are a gold medalist, you can write that. You are a batch topper, you can write that. All these things would add on to your value in front of your employer, potential recruiter, right? So education, do you have any confusion in this heading? Put your educational background in chronological order, starting from your college, as in your university, to your 10th grade. And you can also mention about any other awards, any other academic fellowships or gold medals that you have received for your academic achievements. Okay, I hope I have made myself clear till this heading, education. I hope if you have any doubts, please feel free to ask. Okay, this is a very, as I said, as it has already been stated, it's a workshop, so please feel free to interact. Okay, don't hesitate. All right, that is the first thing you need to keep in mind, that is education. Okay, second thing is your coursework. Now, always I have come across this fact that recruiters or your firms are looking for courses that you have done outside your university. So let us say that you have interest in cyber law. So how you can demonstrate that further? You can demonstrate that further by saying, I have done a diploma, I have done a certificate course, or I have done some specialized course or distance course in the field of cyber law from so and so university, from so and so national law university, from so and so website or portal. When you do that, why it becomes essential? Because that shows that you have acquired those skills outside your classroom knowledge. Every firm, trust me, every firm asks for students who have some extra courses or who have done additional courses from outside, because that reflects your enthusiasm and passion for the subject and the area that you are applying for. Let us say one of you is interested in the field of IPR, or nowadays people are also going for fashion law. So fashion law is not taught at any of the universities. As of now, no university is teaching fashion law in university, right? And many of our students, are also doing courses from abroad in this area. Why? Because fashion law is very new area of law and it has not been included in the course curriculum of most universities. So how you can show that you have knowledge and the knack in this area is by undertaking coursework offered by universities in India as well as universities abroad, and Or if not, if it is not feasible for you, you can also do courses offered by various reputed portals like I know Law Seco, and there are certain other portals which are offering courses, okay, in these areas of new areas and niche areas of law. So always do amount, you should always do diplomas, you should always do certain courseworks offered by other institutes. So if you look at the CV which is being shared on your screen, you can see that it is written diploma in corporate law in with A plus, like whatever grade you obtained from wherever you did, and you mention the year. Everywhere the year should come. Why it should come? Because that reflects your chronology. Okay, because as I said, chronology is very important. So let us say if you have done 5 courses, start from the most recent course at the top till the last oldest course, right? So that is how chronology will have to be followed. Courses always undertake, do it from credible sources. Always I'd say, don't do these, there are a lot of courses which are being offered which are maybe they take a lot of money and they're not even good. So you may ask, ma'am, how do we know which courses we can trust? So what I'll advise, and that is what I always advise to my students also, that whenever you are taking up a course and making the payment, just before doing that, ask some students who have previously taken up that course, so that they can tell you how are the faculties of this course and how they deliver that course, what is the material, the quality of the course and other things. So always ask the people who have undertaken that course, or you can even consult your seniors and faculties. The faculties can always guide you in this respect as to which all courses you can take, instead of you wasting money on any not so worthy course. Okay, so courses are very important. Always undertake courses. Most recruiters always ask us for coursework, significant coursework outside college, okay, outside the university. All right, that is your second head, which should be there in your CV. Now, very, very important, third is your internships. Now, internships play a very, very important role in you securing a job. You won't believe. So our placement drive is currently underway at NLU Aurangabad. Most recruiters, what they tell us is that instead of going to campuses for placement, they are doing pre-placement offers, PPOs. I do not know if you're aware of this concept. PPOs basically mean that you are interning with that firm. If they like your work, they will give you the job. So that is what a PPO, that is how a PPO functions. So let us say you are interning at Cyril Amarchand and they like your work. They will immediately give you a job offer. So that is a very common route of acquiring employment these days. Okay. So internships are very important. Internships are mandatory in our university. I hope that all of you are also undertaking internships during your summer and winter break. So going by the number of semesters you have 10 semesters, right? So at least and a minimum of 10 to 12 internships should be reflected on your CV. Now, please understand, when I say 10 to 12, it does not mean any Tom, Dick, and Harry internship. It means quality internships, good internships, internships which are reputed. Okay. So quality should be maintained. Let us say you intern at a place where they only ask you to proofread, or where they just ask you to basically do clerical work. That is not an internship which you can call quality, right? Always remember that whenever you are interning, always ask for good quality work. Ensure that you choose a place suitable for your area of interest. So let us say you're interested in company law, you're interested in capital markets. So choose a firm which is good in capital markets. You select, you shortlist those areas, you go to that firm, ask work. Many students, they hesitate in asking work during their internships. Always remember your mentors, your partners, the HR, you can always go out to them in case you're not getting quality work during your internship. Because in your CV, you cannot just write anything. You cannot say that I went to court, observed court proceeding. That does not count as quality work. Always, whenever you are interning, let us say you are interning with a senior advocate's chamber. You write the chamber name, you write the month. If you can just look at the format, I'll just bring, if you can look at your screens. If you look at the screen, we have specified Cyril Amarchand, Mumbai, right? Then we have written the months, okay, when you interned, and the team with which you interned, because these are tier 1 firms. They have number of areas in which the students can intern. So always mention the area in which you interned and the work you did in that firm. Why is it important? Can anyone tell me? Why do you need to mention those work? Because that shows that you are capable of working at least in that area. That shows your credit worthiness, that shows your reliable, your credibility, and your knack for that subject. It would reflect onto the employer that this student has worked previously with a good firm in this area. I'm pretty sure I can hire him or her, right? So internships, whenever you're writing, ensure that these are tier one or they are good. If it is litigation, ensure that they are judicial chambers or they are chambers of senior advocate. Good internships you are doing, not just the internships for the sake of doing internships. You won't believe so many students, they just intern at these content writing, and God knows so many internships are advertised at Locktopus these days. Please do not intern at such places, because these places don't add any value to you, right? Simply interning for the sake of interning is of no use. You intern, you shortlist the places which are good for your area of interest, then you go out interning at those places, then and also ask for quality work. And how do you write about those work? You write like researched on, 4 to 5 bullets. Whatever task you handled, you write that. Just don't write normal work. I took out photocopies, I took prints. This work does not count, right? So it's very important that you're only writing the work which can add and show value on you, which shows that you know the subject, you can work on the subject. Okay, just don't include any non-useful work that you did, like clerical stuff. Similarly, 10 to 12 internships should be there on your CV. I expect that all of you would be interning after every semester. Our students are mandated to undertake 10 internships. They have 15 to 20 internships on their CV after 5 years. So this is very, very important. Always have good numbers. Is somebody wanting to say something? I would request if you can just mute whoever is speaking unless you have a question. Okay. So always remember that you have to give bullets may whatever is your main work that you did. You can also read from the screen that how we have presented the work that we have done. Okay. So do not write anything which is not useful. Do not just say I sat in the court, I saw court proceedings. That is not useful work. Okay. So that is how you can reflect your internship experiences. Ensure that the quality is there. This will show your credibility. Okay. Now, after your internship, you will write about your next heading, which is moot court and debate achievements. Right. Now, always remember, moot court and debate you can have separately, you can have them together. Depends on you. So, minimum of 3 moot courts you all should be doing during your law school. Minimum of 3. You can either winning or losing is not in your hand. If you have won, well and good. If you have not won, at least you can say you participated, you were octa finalist, you were quarter finalist. You can write all that. But again, remember, always mention complete details of your moot. Write which date it was conducted on. Write the college, university which conducted that moot, what area of law it was on. You can mention all that. Also, with regard to debating, you can talk about the MUNs, you can write about your parliamentary debates, Asian debates, whatever you do, you can mention about that also. Only remember that the chronology should be maintained, okay? And your achievements in moot also reflect that you are good at researching, oratory, skill of writing. So always do moots in your law school, okay? People take this lightly, but you should be engaging in moot courts and debates. They actually build your public speaking ability. Okay, so this is regarding your moot court and this debate. At least three you can have for both. Okay. Next, you have publications, research papers, and essays. Right now, publications. Are you guys doing publications? Can you unmute and answer? Are you guys writing papers in journals and all? So see, I have generally it is a very accepted practice in law firms as well as in chambers and most organizations these days. Your publications in good reputed journals actually show your research and writing ability. So publications, when you write blogs for good art, NLU journals or for good, there are websites like Mondac and other websites also which are credible law firm websites also where you can write blogs. Blogs are very 1,000-word, very short articles that you can write, and it's easy to write them also. So if you look at the first bullet, paper published on so and so in NLU Jodhpur Law Review. Now, nowadays, you won't believe, I have seen myself, so many students are paying money to get their paper published. Trust me, students, that does not count. Paid publications are a big no-no, okay? What you only have to do is you write a good paper, you can have co-authorship, you and your friends together can write a good quality paper. You see the the best of the journals in that particular area on which you have written, UGC, Scopus, NLU, or university journals also, and you send your papers there. Whatever feedback you receive, even if it is rejected, whatever feedback you receive, you improvise on that and you can further send it ahead to a better journal, right? So please start writing. I have seen students who cannot even write originally in their own words. What you guys do is cut, copy, paste. It's, we strongly discourage such practices. Always write in your own original thoughts and words. Always develop the habit of original plagiarism free writing. Okay. So, and how do you select the journals? Do not go for paid journals. Always find journals in UGC, Scopus Index, or journals of big, like central state universities or good universities. Maybe private it would go, but good, like Symbiosis and all. You can go for NLU journals. So these universities you can choose, you can send them your articles and you can publish. Publications are very important. Minimum of 3 publications should be there on your CV by the end of 5 years. Okay, minimum of 3 good publications. Again, chronology you can maintain from the recent to the last. Again, if not papers, write blogs. Today, so many students are writing blogs for law schools, writing blog for articles of law firms, or websites of law firms. Like that, also students can write. Essays, again, there are so many essay writing competitions. You can send your essays. If you win a prize, good. If not, at least you can show participation. Okay? So this is how you should go about. So this section reflects your writing and research ability. So publications, please don't take it lightly. Publications and having good quality publications are very, very important. Don't do them in a paid journal. It does not count. Okay? Next heading is your workshops and conferences. I am pretty sure that many of you would be going out on seminars, conferences. You would be, maybe presenting papers. Presenting papers you can write in this section only. The section that I just showed you. This one. Your publication, research papers, and essay. If you have presented any research papers, you can show it here itself. Okay. Workshops and conferences. Under this, you can talk about the panel discussions or any lost, workshops, like the workshop that you're attending right now. That could also count. Your seminars or any international conferences. You can just mention which university organized, what was the topic, and when did you attend it. Chronologically, you can mention all those workshops and conferences. That would simply show that you have an interest in that area, and that is why you have attended workshops and conferences based on that area. So let us say a student is interested in cyber law. I'm giving one example. I'm sticking to one example of cyber. So a good CV, what would it reflect? It would reflect that the student has scored well in the subject of cyber law. Maybe he or she is a subject topper of cyber law. That is one. Second, it would show that he or she has done their internship in the field of cyber law with good cyber law firms and companies. Okay, so internships would also be in the field of cyber law. The moot courts are also in the field of cyber law. Your publications, your writings, your research papers, seminars, all in this area. If you do that, it shows your knack and commitment to this area of cyber law, which would create a very good first impression on your recruiter that this student is committed to the process, and he or she is a die-hard enthusiast of this area, and maybe we should recruit, maybe we should give him an internship opportunity with our organization. This is how it works. Okay, so always, if you, whatever areas you have, ensure that your CV is continuously reflecting your interest in every heading. Whatever headings we have discussed till now, your CV should be reflecting your interest in all those areas, in that particular area only. Okay, so workshop, conferences. Then we have positions of responsibility. Very, very important. Why is this important? Because this shows You are a team player. You can work in a team. You have organizational skills. You have organizational, the ability to organize events, ability to work in a team, ability to lead. So always in your law school or in your school, if you have been a head boy, or in your law school, you are the president, or you are a member of some committee center, or you are a member of some NGO, or let us say you are moot court convener, or you are an ambassador with some SCC, EBC, always you can mention those things in this particular subheading, positions of responsibility. You can give all this under this heading. Again, chronologically, you have to mention kab se kab tak you were there in that particular role. If you have been into volunteering exercises, you can mention that. If you are also, let us say, campus ambassador of Octopus, or campus ambassador of any law program, you can mention that. Okay. So position of responsibility basically show that you can organize, you have those organizational skills, you have that ability to lead and guide your team. Okay. So this is again a very, very good important skill that your recruiter, your employer would look at. So always have some positions to mention in your CV. The last thing is your area of interest. This is what I was telling you in the beginning. If you are clear that this is my area, you can clearly mention corporate law, IPR, ADR, let us say cyber law, environmental law. You can mention that clearly. But however, if you are confused between 2 to 3 areas, you can either skip out this heading, or you mention those 2 to 3 areas, and you can reflect your CV in all those 3 areas. Let us say, how do you reflect that? Let us say your 3 areas of interest are cyber, competition law, and arbitration. So you can show that you have done a moot in competition law, you have written a paper in arbitration law, and you have attended a seminar in company law. So this would reflect overall well-balanced CV, that you have 3 areas of interest, and all the 3 are well represented in your CV. Okay. So always remember that whenever, as I'm always time and again telling you, that your CV reflects you. Your CV reflects your talents. So it is very, very important that you do not miss out on mentioning anything which is your selling point. This is just a format. Okay, you may stick to it, you may not. But let us say you are a national level sports player of, basketball, cricket, whatever. You can even mention that in your CV. If you have, not, like what we say, worthy of being mentioned, any extracurricular activity. Let us say you are a national level Kathak player, or you are national level something. You can mention that as well. But please don't write in your CVs that in my school I won a dance competition in 4th class. All that you cannot mention. You cannot mention things which at national level or state level you can say, but you cannot say that in my school I once participated in, I don't know, maybe a running competition and I won it. Nothing. No, you should not mention something like that. Okay, I mean that's that much mature you all are. So always have things which add and reflect your strengths to your employer. What you are not confident about, you can also skip in your CV. You don't have to lie. You can simply just skip writing about it. So let us say you interned at a place, and in that place you did not learn much, okay, or you did not get good quality work. So what you can simply say is that I may not want to write about it. You can just altogether skip writing about that internship, because that internship did not add any value to you. Okay, so only write about things which you want the employer to know about. Okay, so what is important here is that what all have we discussed till now? Always, first of all, go by the chronology, follow from most recent to the oldest in every heading. These are the standard headings which should be there in your CV, unless you have certain noteworthy, extracurricular achievements which you can mention. That is also fine. Otherwise, you stick to these headings. You keep all these headings in your CV. You do at least 3, minimum of 3 papers, moots, publications, workshops. That at least minimum of 3 it should be there in your CV. Then apart from that, you always, okay, one more thing that I wish to mention. CV should not be, as I said, more than 2 pages. Fonts, please don't use bigger fonts. Use fonts between 10 to 12. Okay. Also use fonts which are formal and professional. Don't use those Comic Sans and all these, childish fonts. Use fonts like Garamond, Times New Roman, Helvetica, Arial. All these fonts which are professional, you can use. Okay. And as I said, customize your CV. Don't use a generic CV. Using generic CV and sending it out in bulk to your employer just shows how non-committed you are to the process. When you are very committed, you would spend the time, take out the time to tailor make your CV according to the requirements of your potential recruiter, okay, potential employer. So always tailor make, fine tune, customize your CV according to the requirements of the organization, okay, according to their vacancy and student expectation, candidate expectation, right? Okay, apart from that, as I said, you need not, oh, okay, one more thing. Many students make lot of grammatical, typographical, English errors in their CVs. Okay, so always proofread your CV, make any sort of corrections that need to be there. Now, these days you also have so many apps which helps you to correct the grammar, punctuations, your English or whatever it is. So always properly check the formatting, fonts, your punctuation, your grammar, everything check and then only send to your potential recruiter. Trust me, if your CV is well made, if it is well rounded, if it is over, as I said, your academics is one area where you need to excel in. Top 10 batches, batch rank holders always get placed. If you are top 10 rank holder, very good. If not, ensure that maybe you may not be academically so good, but your other things should, like your mood courts, your academic, internship should be so good that the hirer would be compelled to hire you. So it is not necessary that everybody will be a topper, right? Even if you are, let's say, an average student, but you have done good number of internships, you're really good at what you do, maybe debates, maybe moods, maybe writing, it is also good. Your CV should be well balanced. It should be all rounded, balanced. If you have a well balanced CV, trust me, your half job is done, because the first step to internship, to securing placements, is your CV. Trust me, since we send CVs of students, we know that it's the first stage where they get rejected or selected. Okay, it is the make or break stage. If you clear the CV shortlisting stage, the next step would be interview, which if you're good in your subject matter, you would anyway clear. So CV is your first impression, first point of contact with the firm. So always ensure that you do not miss out on this opportunity because you don't have a good CV. CV अच्छे से बनाओगे, then you have done 90% of the job. Okay, your CV would speak for yourself, and whatever you have written in your CV, be well versed with that, because your employer can ask you question. Let us say you're sitting for job or you're sitting for an internship interview with some firm. They may ask you, okay, you have written at Khurana and Khurana, you have interned with IPR. What did you do here? What is the Trademarks Act? Because anything which is mentioned in your CV, you should be aware of it fully. You should be aware of what you did in that. You should be aware of the latest developments in that particular field. Then only you can secure yourself a place in any organization. Okay. So don't think I interned at like 3 years back, now I have forgotten. No, you can never say that to a recruiter. You will always have to be well versed with whatever you have written in your CV, even if it is 5 years back. You should be aware of what are the latest developments in that area, what has happened in that area, and what work you did in that firm or organization. So they can ask you questions on that. Always remember, internships are your best way of securing placement. So intern as much as you can with as many good places. As I said, the quality of internships really matter. Internships 15 bhi kar li, but agar kuch सीखा नहीं, it is of no value, no use. Always intern where you learn, which add value to you as a lawyer, as a young law professional, okay, as a student. So intern at such places, right? Work which is worth of being mentioned. Okay, so always align your CV, format your CV, and you are good to go. And it is good that this session, I'm very hopeful that through this session, at least you would have understood the basic nitty-gritties, nuances of CV drafting. And if you want, I can share this format with you and with the faculty convener, so that you are aware of how you can go about drafting your CVs. And you should, as I always tell my students, that your CV does not start from 5th year. Your CV building and exercise, drafting exercise starts from your first day of law school. When you enter your law school, your competition with everyone begins that very moment. It is up to you how you make or break it now. Okay. So always please be very particular. Your job, your career is in your hands. Okay. We are only facilitators. We can only provide the platform, teach you the skills. It is up to you on how you take it ahead, how you basically broadcast and sell yourself to your potential employers. Okay, so that is it from my side. That is all I have to tell you about CV building and drafting exercises. If there's anything else that you want to know, I think we can take up the question answer sessions if there are any. So if there are any doubts, I think one of the students has put up in the chat box, what is a reputed journal look into before actually publishing? Okay, so any reputed journal, so as I said, you can go for NLUs or university journals. They would actually look at how relevant, contemporary your topic is. Writing on something where already research has been done is of no use. They want novelty. Novelty means originality. They want new thoughts and ideas, new suggestions on a recent problem. So, for example, writing on something on which already thousands of works have been published is of no use. You write on something where nobody has written anything or the work is limited. You write on that, you write your own original content and thoughts, suggestions. Your paper would be published. Do empirical research. Go on the field and research. That is how people would think that you are a good researcher. What students do is, I'll honestly tell you, I know what students do. They will simply Google the topic, they would cut copy 10 papers into one, and they would send it to the publisher, and they would get rejected. That is not how you approach publishing. The only thing how you go about publishing is that you select a new topic, a good topic, novel topic, contemporary topic, start researching on it, write your own thoughts and ideas, no cut copy pasting, do empirical as much as you can wherever you can. Go do first hand surveys, do first hand questionnaire interviews, all that. That would add value, that would show how good of a researcher you are, and would give you practical suggestions to offer. So always do that. I hope I have answered your question. Okay, so always go for novel, good quality research. Originality should be there. That is all that they look at. Okay, originality and novelty. These two concepts and terms you remember. Can we add a passport photo? Not advisable. You may put your photo if the firm wants it. Otherwise, it's not advisable. Okay, you need not. Hello, ma'am. What is fashion law? PPO basically is it means pre-placement offer. So what happens? Let us say you are interning with a tier 1 or good law firm. Okay, even chambers have started offering PPOs now. You're interning with a company and they really like your work. So even before you have graduated, they would give you a job offer. And once you have graduated, you will directly join them. So many of our students, most of our students get placed through pre-placement offers only. Okay, so they are interning, the recruiters like their work, and they are given PPOs. PPOs basically mean job offer before you graduate. That is how I can place it. Okay, pre-placement offers. Fashion law is a very upcoming emerging area. You can read about it. It's I know a lot of my students who are doing courses from Paris and Europe. Many European countries are offering courses in fashion law. Okay, like it has links with IPR, it has links with protection of designs, protection of copyrights. Okay, all that. All right. Shreya, ma'am, is there anything we must do before opting for an internship as a fresher? When you say as a fresher, it means as a first year law student, I am guessing. Or are you talking about fresher means you are in your first year? I'm guessing if it's a first year, whenever you are going out for your internship, you need not do anything. See, generally, what is the pattern we tell our students? In first year, you always go for NGOs or law libraries so that you can learn about reading law, about learning law, and experiencing law. Because in first year, you have hardly studied any law subject. You can't be in high courts. You can't be in law firms. What you can be in, where you can be in, is actually in NGOs or law libraries or small chambers and courts. where you can have the basic understanding of working. Second year, you go for district courts and small tier 4 law firms you can go for. Then third, fourth, fifth, you can go for all the high court, Supreme Court lawyers, judges. You can go for tier 1, big companies, law firms, all that. So that is how you should approach your internship. Don't go to big law firms in first semester. What will you know? How will you contribute? Okay, you need to prove to the firm that you're an asset. If you want to get a PPO, you cannot just go and say, "Oh, I'm in my first year, I don't know anything. You teach me." If they have to teach you everything, why will they hire you? They want somebody who can, lessen their burden rather than burdening them more. So always, before internship, you see what you want to do and accordingly reach out. If you're in your first year, go for NGOs. Don't go out for bigger law firms or advocates, right? Okay, if I have other job experience, can I mention that experience in CV, Mahesh? Bilkul, of course, you should always mention. So I am guessing you may be an LLM student if you have some job experience. So if you are an LLM student, what you can do, you can mention after your education, you can directly mention your work experience before internships. The format that I shared is meant for law students. For working professionals, there will be addition of one more column which is called work experience, where you can mention about which all places you have worked at, what work you did, all that. And after that, you can talk about your internships and other the headings that I've shared. Okay, so that is how for job experience, you can mention if you're a working professional. Okay, Vaishnavi, can you share some trusted platform for courses? For courses, I said Law Seekho is offering a lot of good courses. You can go for courses. Personally, I would always advise to go for courses offered by law schools. Go for courses offered by central state universities, national law universities. There are so many courses being offered by Nalsar, NLS Bangalore, even NUJS Kolkata. You can go for all of them. All their courses are good. Okay, trusted. So many of our students are undertaking those courses. Additional degrees they are undertaking. Sports law. One of the students is taking a diploma in, there's so many investment law. So there are a lot of new areas of law which have emerged, which are not taught in law school. As I said, sports law is not taught, right? Fashion law, even your investment law, capital markets, rarely. I mean, it is taught here, but it may not be taught everywhere. So what you can do is you look for courses offered by national law schools and universities, and you can learn that way. They are credible. They would add value. Okay, good number of research papers rather than will it be sufficient to grab a job in tier 1? Moot court. See, I'm not saying, as I said earlier, winning a moot court is not important. I mean, it is good if you win. You should aim for winning. But my experience says that you should participate in moot courts. Don't say that because I've written, let's say, 10 papers, I don't need to do moots. No, you should do moots. Why don't you want to do it? You are a law student. You would be practicing in courts. Why don't you want to explore how to go about drafting, arguing, writing memos? Why don't you want to do it? My question is that. So you should do a moot. Do 2 moots. That's not a big deal, right? Have moot court experience also. That is always advisable and recommended. Okay. All right. Vishal is asking how to choose best law firm. How to choose? You go to this website. I'll mention this website. You can go to Chambers and Partners. I'll give in the chat box only. Chambers and Partners is a website. It's an international website where, according to whichever jurisdiction you want to practice in, let us say you want to practice in, maybe after 5th year, you'll go to Hong Kong, you go to Singapore, you go to London or India. You can put your place where you want to practice. You give the area of law in which you want to practice, and you will get the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 law firms, as well as advocates and practitioners who are best in that area. In that way, you will get to know which firms you can choose. That is how you choose your law firms. Chambers and Partners, Asia 500, Legal 500, so many websites are there. Or you can simply do a normal Google search. Top 10 law firms in corporate law. You will get it. Okay. Otherwise, Chambers and Partners is a respected, credible website where you can find lawyers, best law firms and lawyers in every jurisdiction of this world. Okay. That is our go-to website for every area where we want to locate good lawyers and law firms. Okay. All right, then. Ma'am, work experience other than law firm, is it beneficial to mention? When you say other than law firms, what work experience are you talking about? You are mentioning, I mean, can you elaborate? Is it like, is it volunteering exercise? Is it courts? You can mention. If you have worked in chambers, you can mention. If you have worked in companies, that you can mention. If you have worked in, let us say, an NGO or volunteering work you have done, you can mention. Administrative work in big industry. Okay, you can mention that. But when I read administrative, I'm understanding that you did legal work and not HR work. Because see, you have to, your work, if you want to work in law firm, your law work will, legal work would count. Not that you did HR work or you were there, like, I don't know, administrative work in legal field is okay. Legal work would count. Okay, not any other sort. NLU students are given more priority. Traditional law have to work prior entire year. Well, I would advise and I would say, I mean, I agree this is there, and that too in, you know, you don't just say NLU, because there is a divide even in NLU. So, you know, like only the top 5 NLUs may get into tier 1, like NLS, NLU Jodhpur, NLU Delhi. But now what is the accepted practice? As I said, they are offering PPOs. So let us say you are from state government college or central government university college. So even if you are not from an NLU, but if you are good at your work, you are, you know, exceptionally good with research, exceptionally good with speaking, you are so, you know, very presentable, and, you know, you are overall, you are really good, they would hire you. It is ultimately your skill and talent. Trust me, your brand name would not matter if you are in yourself, you know, a house of talent. Anywhere, if you're good, if you have the credibility and the metal, you would be selected. Not immediately after 1 year. Trust me, I know so many students who are from, you know, private universities also and central state universities also, who have right after their 5th years gotten into tier 1 firms because they were so good at working that they, you know, they got extended internships 6, 6, 7 months, and after judging them for 7 months, because they were so good, exceptionally bright, they immediately got hired. That is why I said pay importance to pre-placement offers. Intern karo, internship when you do at good places, you would be rewarded. But just interning is not sufficient. Contacts laga ke, internship laga ke was not sufficient. You also have to work. If you're not working, just sitting ki chalo, I've got the brand name on my CV, it does not count. You have to prove, you have to work, you have to set such a good impression that those people cannot live without you. They would be like, you know what, why don't you come back? They'll keep calling you after internship. I know, I personally got called at Shardul Amarchand thrice. That was my personal choice that I did not join law firm because it was too much for me. Because after having worked with almost tier 1, all tier 1 law firms, it was so hectic. I personally chose academics for myself because it was very, very hectic. They have, I mean, it's round the clock working. You have no weekends, you have no holidays. So that was not the kind of life, work-life balance that I wanted. But take it from me, if, and I was from state government college. I did my masters from NLU. So they take you if you're really, really good, if you're academically bright, you're, you know, you're good at everything, they will take you. It does not matter if you're from NLU or non-NLU. That never matters. Trust me, you have to work on yourself. If you are the best, you are selected. Trust me, nothing else matters. Not immediately, they will assess you maybe for a little longer, 6 months, and you will be recruited if you're good. Okay, is it true that BLLB students are getting hired over LLB students? LLB students, see, initially we used to have 3 year. Then this 5 year came and NLU culture emerged, and the tier 1 law firms also emerged during this evolution of NLUs. So somewhere this, I mean, I would not say bias, but somewhere they think that, yeah, okay, we can take 5 years. But I don't think this exists because I know so many students from Jindal who have done their 3 year LLB and they are working in these tier 1 law firms. So I don't think they have this bias. Again, I would stick to that same point. If you're really good with writing, speaking, drafting, if you're presentable, if you're like really, really bright, they would take you. Even if you are 3 year, or even if you are, you know, maybe you have done a lot of jobs in small companies, you may not even have that experience, but if you're good, they will take you. So I don't think 3 or 5 year would anyway matter. What matters is your mettle, your credibility, and your hard work. Okay. Okay. How do we land good internship or associate being from this, as in how, or what we should do to compete with all these NLU or these students. See, for good internship, I don't know if your internship cell, how your internship cell works. So for like in our university, we try to provide our students with internship with good law firms. If we are not able to, like, let us say some student is not that bright, or if he or she gets rejected, we personally help them through contacts. Because see, getting into law firms is, again, I would say it does require a lot of hard work. It would require a lot of contacts also at some point. So network as much as you can, reach out to your faculties, reach out to people from industries, you go to conferences, network with them, meet them, befriend them, connect with them on LinkedIn, so that you can, directly message, request them for internships. Generally, the practice is that you will have to network. If you're good, they would take you. They would even give you an internship opportunity to prove yourself. That is the only way you can associate. Because I understand being in Aurangabad, there are no big tier one firms that I can say, after college, you go and meet them. That is not possible. What you can only do is during your summer and winter break, go to Bombay, go to Delhi, go to Bangalore, Hyderabad, meet these, meet the HRs, give your CVs to them, ask for internships, request them to meet the partners if possible. You network, basically network, connect, and show your skills to them, so that they may give you one chance that, okay, I think the student is really good, I should give them a chance. I know the competition is very tough. There are so many people, so many law schools, but again, it all depends on how you market and project yourself. And first step is having a good CV. As I said, if you're having a good CV, your first step, first work is done. Okay, so network, connect, reach out to as many contacts and sources, people who can help you out with getting a good tier one internship. Okay, what are the different areas of practice under corporate? Apart, a lot of areas are there in corporate. There is mergers acquisition, there is capital market, private equity, there is competition law. So I'm teaching all these subjects to students at NLU, at our university. Then, so most in demand nowadays is general corporate. So general corporate team, you have almost every area covered. Then you have capital markets team, you have project finance team, where you're working on financing and loan structuring of company projects, building of roads, tolls, highways, all that. Then you have M&A, as I said, private equity, competition law, taxation, banking, finance, all these different areas. Nowadays, there are also teams on the very new emerging area, telecommunication and all. Although that is not proper corporate law, but yeah, a lot of teams, like a lot of small firms have TMT and into corporate law only. TMT means telecommunication and all those areas, right? Like telecom industry and your telecom laws, all that. Okay, so corporate law is very huge. You have a lot of areas. Securities also, SEBI also comes into corporate law. Okay, reputed law firm, I told you, you go to Chambers Partner. Reputed is Shardul, Cyril, Khetan, all these are law firms. During internship, during college working hours, so the students can go for internship after the classes are done. They can undertake running internships. So many of our students, after their class hours, they go for internships at Aurangabad High Court under, like judges or under advocates. But after their lecture hours, that is after 2 p.m., they join them in their chambers, because there are no law firms here in Aurangabad, so they cannot go in and intern with law firms. But remotely, if it is possible, they do undertake internship with law firms also. So there are a lot of law firms which also give remote online internships. So you can intern with them during your lecture hours. When I say during, it means when you are in campus, because you can't physically go to Delhi and attend your lectures, right? So what they do is they will say, okay, you can be in Aurangabad, but you can work remotely for us. Or they allow you, like the chambers, especially because there are just chambers in Aurangabad, like the chambers of advocates. After your lecture hours, college hours, you go to these chambers and you can intern. That is the best way. That is what our students, local students also do, right? Otherwise, you can take online internships under big law firms. So that is how internships, that is called running internship. And running internships also add value to you, because you are, along with your classroom knowledge, you're also acquiring practical skills. So that's also one way students work. Kindly suggest litigation platform. Litigation platform are chambers You go for work under advocates, you go under senior advocates, you work under advocate on records, standing counsels. Options are endless. You can also take up judicial internships under judges because they will teach you, like the briefing, they will teach you drafting, they will teach you reading cases, briefing them, all that. So for litigation students, you can also go for tier 1 law firms because tier 1 law firms also have dispute resolution teams. Okay, they also have litigation teams. However, if you are a student who cannot just, sit on a desk and work, you can always and you should always start from a chamber. You go to a chamber, you go to advocate of your choice or whichever good advocate you want to join, you take internship under him or her, and that is how you can go about, right? So there are a lot of options for litigation. You can go for any advocate, AOR, counsels, impaneled lawyers, anyone. Online internships, yes, you can go, you can do it during your college session. You can take up internship with law firms after your college hours. Hours means, let us say, your classes get over at 11 or 12 or 1. After that, you can connect with any law firm and they can give you remotely work. They will allot remotely to you for a period of 1 month, 2 months, whatever. And then they will issue a certificate of internship to you, and that would count. And you would learn, at least you would learn the practical skills. So that is also there. You can join online internships and you can go for online internships also. They would add value. Industrial advocate. What is an industrial advocate? Under industrial advocate. Industrial advocate, please, if you can clarify, what does this term mean? How to make CV presentable without earning this thing like average student. Without earning, I said, even if you are not academically a bright student, have moods, have research papers, do internships. That is how you have to do. Okay, write papers, attend
Executive.
conferences. Sorry?
Industrial advocate is legal executive.
Okay, so you were saying legal executive, that is in-house job. If you're working, the term is in-house counsel for that. So if you want to work in a company, that is called as in-house counsel. It's not a law. You cannot say you are an advocate. You are an in-house counsel. Okay. So you can also work with companies. Again, even internship under them is good, but the point is you should have contacts because they don't give internships to, like even in NLUs, they take very top NLU students for internship, right? So if you have contacts, if you have some, like good sources, then you can connect and network. Because ultimately, law is all a profession of networking. As many contacts you build, as good you are to go. Okay? Because you will have to connect with them, you will have to budge them, remind them. See, don't think that once I've emailed, called the HR, my job is done. 100 emails, 100 calls, thorough follow-up is required with those, HRs, partners to secure a job or internship with them. So it's not an easy process at all. It requires a lot of hard work, lot of efforts, and that then you can think of, approaching them. So it's obviously it's a groundbreaking work. Okay, how do we secure online internships? You can secure online internships. Start working on your CVs, as I said. Okay, and how many years one can do internship? Internships are only given for 1 to 2 months, 3 months maximum. If you're really, really good, if your firm really likes you, then maybe for 1 year. And then they will recruit you only, right? Otherwise, it's only in months. They won't give you more than 1 month. All right. And so you can start taking up online internship. You can secure good internships. Just first step is build a good CV, build your good moods, publications, academic scores. Start reaching out on LinkedIn to law firms, professionals, advocates, and request them for internship. Any internship where you are learning, it's not necessary that only you can learn at tier 1 firm. Even if it's a small firm and they're teaching you some skills, practical skills, learn it. It would add value to you. That is how your approach should be. Don't think on my first day I should get Shardul Amarchand. Even if you are getting tier 4 firm and you're learning productively you are learning, that is sufficient. Trust me, at the end, it is your skills. If not now, not immediately after 5th year, maybe if you're good enough, in next 1 year, you will be at a good place where you, of course, you will get what you deserve. So if you're good, hardworking, you will get whatever hard work you have put in there. Exactly proportionate to that, the result you will get. Okay. I hope that is it. So there were a lot of doubts. I hope I have cleared most of the doubts. Almost all doubts I took. Right. So please start working on your CVs. Okay. And I wish you all the best. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are definitely benefited from this informative and illuminating session. And thank you so much for resolving our queries also and simplify our concepts. Now, I request respected principal sir to deliver the presidential address.
So, at the outset, let me thank Professor Sakshi Gupta for a wonderful insight to our budding lawyers to prepare the CV. When we are students, we do not know anything about CV and placements, internships. But these people are very good, fortunate to have people like you as a resource person to deliver something, to ignite their minds to do something different from others. As you rightly pointed out, that talent is not the particular thing, skill. What skill you have? I am observing for last 14 years, the students going for internship without attending the classes. They're bunking the classes, going for internship only. When somebody goes for internship without bunking, without attending the classes, there is a shortage of attendance. If you are competing with the other person who is competing with you may complain that you never attended classes where there is a document proof that you never attended class because of your internship certificate. There are 4 or 5 people in this group who's skipping the classes, sitting there in Delhi or somewhere and doing internship without attending the classes. And some people are coming to me and asking for recommendations during the class hours, during the college hours to go for internship. In spite of my telling them not to go for internship while the college is going on, nobody listens. That's why I asked that question whether you can go for internship or not during the college session.
Sir, yes, sir. So even in our university, the practice we have is that only after lecture hours, they are not allowed to miss their lectures because 75% attendance is mandated by UGC. Otherwise, we don't award them their degrees. So it's very important that internships only after lecture hours, otherwise only during winter or summer break, November, December, May, June. Whenever you get your break, you intern during that time, right? That is the best way.
No, madam, it is not in Aurangabad internship. They are going for a Delhi, Bihar. So wherever they are placed, they are going there for internship by bunking the classes here. This is the problem with traditional colleges. So as you think that 75% is compulsory for you, these people will not think like that. If you are not attentive in the classes, your knowledge is very less. The criteria of marks is not the criteria to judge your talent, your skill, your inputs, your tidbits in your mind to face the crunch situation. That is most important for an internship. The observation of advocates, the observation of courts, the observation of what is going on in the courts, wherever you go, simply going and having in your CV that I went for internship there and here is not worthy. And I will give 1 or 2 examples which I observed. There is a student who completed LLM from BOM, Department of Law. She prepared a CV and I observed the CV. She completed CV by saying I completed my LLM from BOM, Department of Law, affiliated to Pune University. And while giving the particular CVs, I observed several students who completed LLM and LLB. They print everything, ever sincerely everything. And they don't sign, name is printed. They don't put the date, they don't do anything on the last page. So when you are giving a CV, nobody in this particular region knows that they are supposed to sign on the document when they are submitting the CV. This is the drawback on the part of students. And when they are going to make the CV, so as you pointed out, I have put something. One interview, they asked one thing which I mentioned in 2005. I wrote an article. Uske बारे में पूछा. But I am not able to answer the question because 2003 means 21 years over. So as you rightly pointed out, the inputs to the students, what to be done, what not to be done. So whatever you have written, you must be thorough with the particular inputs which you put in the particular CV. If you do not put those things in your mind while you are preparing the CV, You are the loser. You mean the student will lose. So as she rightly pointed, we are only facilitator to nurture you. We are not going to be a Farex baby. You are not Farex babies who are going to put your spoon into your mouth to do something to grow. It is you have to make hard work to get into the things rightly. So there is one student who completed 70 internships online. A 5-year student who completed 70 internships. So when she approached her, some colleague of mine told about this, I doubted her. She come with all certificates. She come with all certificates. This is going to be jock of all trade, but master of none. That is also not looking by the employers. While you are going to be there, specifically, you have to concentrate on one area. As she rightly pointed, corporate means corporate. IPR means IPR. Arbitration means arbitration. Fashion law means fashion law. Sports law means sports law. Like that, you have to choose your intention. You have to choose your interest in the particular field where you want to grow. You may have 2-3 areas, but don't go for jack of all trades, master of none. So nobody is there. So suppose I am of 63 years, I can't know, I am not able to say anything about litigation on platforms because you are more computer savvy when compared to us, where you can put it everything. Artificial intelligence will help you to go where to go, what to choose, what to do. Because you have a wonderful platforms to develop yourself. This is only a guidance by the teacher who is going to give you a tips what to do, what not to do. It is you have today. We can drag the horse to drink water, but we cannot compel the horse to drink water. It is you have to choose. It is you have to choose. The student who are coming here and who are enjoying this particular lecture by Sakshi must learn something, what input she has given to your mind. Simply listening from one ear and leaving it from another is of no use. Those who are having talent, nothing will stop them. The time will make you to learn something. Till that period, you must have the patience. So, especially in the legal fraternity, legal profession, patience is the most important for which you are paid. If you do not have the patience, you cannot have like a ATM card. I am putting the card, I want money. Not like that in the legal fraternity. You have to wait, you have to work hard. Success is in you. The word success is you, not Sakshi or myself or coordinator or MP Law College or MLU Aurangabad. It is you who have to make efforts. How to put yourself sellable in the market. As he rightly pointed out, when you are going to make a manufacture of a product, they are going to say that this product is having this benefits. If you go for YouTube, there are several products which are going to be advertising this benefit, this benefit, this benefit. When you purchase that product, unless you satisfy, unless you give a remark that you are good, nobody will purchase in future. So when you are going for a hotel, you go for reviews. Most of the people will go for reviews while choosing a restaurant nowadays. While you are going for a particular thing, you are going for remarks. Similarly, when you are going for a particular job, they will think several things. They will choose several things. So when I went to recently Infosys training, there are 2 students from Aurangabad. There are 3 students from Aurangabad, our college. So 1 boy and 2 girls were selected and working in Infosys. This is a wonder for me. They never taught by Sakshi or anybody. On their own, they are capable to get a job in Infosys legal team. This is the wonder they made. So knowingly, there are 3 people. One student from MP Law College went to internship in Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs. She did her internship on corporate insolvency. She got A grade. And all the students from NLUs doesn't get A grade. But MP Law College student got A grade. There is another student from MP Law College also gone there. He got B grade. So why I am telling all these things inputs to you to understand, it is not that NLUs only can do. As Madam has rightly pointed, Madam is from Indraprastha Traditional University. Our Shivakumar is also from Indraprastha Traditional University. I am also from Traditional University College. Where you from? That doesn't matter. The quality of learning, the content in your mind, whether you are able to understand the particular situation, whether you are able to cope up with the situation or not, whether you are analyzing the things in a proper manner or not, is the criteria for developing your skill. If you develop that skill, nothing will stop you. Nobody is going to deny you an opportunity what you deserve for it. Please remember, when you are deserved for it, nobody can stop you. When you don't deserve, nobody can help you. Nothing will, even God can help you. Please remember this one. If you deserve for it, nobody can stop you. If you don't deserve, that means if you don't have skill, don't attend the classes, don't do moot courts, don't do any extracurricular activities, don't involve in any type of writings. I will share one more thing. In one girl, Sharma, who completed her last 5 years course in last year or last year, her article was selected by Justice, former Chief Justice of India, one book, Orissa Judge, Chief Justice of India. Same is the case with some Venkatesh of first year BA LLB. Her article was selected in international journal. So these are the things, these are the best example. Don't be under impression only the people from NLU or the people from metro cities are only having the quality or content. You too have the quality and content, but you have to make yourself comfortable and taking the guidance, taking the leave from this particular discussion and make yourself achieve your goal and be a role model and may be a feather in the cap of MP Law College growth. Thank you one and all for your patience hearing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for delivering such an inspiring address, which will have a lasting impression on all of us. Then, as per directions given by Mr. Sivakumar sir, all the students are requested to submit their CVs based on the learnings gained from this workshop on the mail ID placementcell at mplaw.org. I will put this ID into the chat box also. And feedback forms for this session will be shared in all the WhatsApp groups of concerned classes. All the students have to fill the feedback forms. Then, as we wrap up this,
1 minute, anchor. So, do whoever submits the CV of their own, the best CV will be given an opportunity to be felicitated by Honorable Judge of the High Court. This is a wonderful opportunity for you. So please make your CV to be competent with others and will be given a wonderful prize for you. Go ahead, anchor.
thank you, sir. As we wrap up this insightful workshop, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to all who have made this event a success. Our sincere thanks goes to our distinguished speaker, Ms. Sakshi Gupta ma'am, firstly for graciously accepting our invite to guide us in this workshop, and secondly for enlightening all of us with their valuable words. We all are incredibly privileged to witness such a session. Then a wholehearted thanks goes to Dr. D.M. Jadhav sir, Registrar MNLU Aurangabad, for their consistent guidance and continuous keep up for making this workshop a successful one. Then we all are also fortunate to have with us our respected principal, Dr. C.M. Rao sir, while witnessing this workshop, as we are blessed with sir's guidance also. Also, a heartfelt thanks to respected Vice Principal Mr. Sri Kishan More sir and IQAC coordinator of our institution, Dr. Aparna Kotapalle ma'am, giving their constant support in execution of this workshop. Then a special thanks to Dr. Anju Singh ma'am, placement cell coordinator of our college, for their valuable and unwavering support. And a remarkable appreciation goes to the Kumar Komaragiri sir for their continuous efforts and constant guidance in making this workshop a successful. Also thanking all the faculty members for being a part of this workshop with their valuable existence. And we all are significantly thankful to ML&G Society and MNLU Aurangabad for this joint initiative taken up for students. And finally, thank you to all the students for their enthusiastic participation and thoughtful questions. We are sure that the knowledge shared here today will continue to inspire and guide us in our future endeavors. Thank you all for making this workshop a success. Now, with the permission of authorities, I declare that this workshop is successfully concluded. Thank you so much to all.